In this video, I will show you how to make a phone case similar to the one that you see here with all the space for like buttons on the side and for the camera. So first thing, you need to look up a CAD file of your phone. So if you go to your after school robotics, Google Classroom, I will post this video on this slide, and if you go to the next pages, you'll see that there's a bunch of CAD files for iPhone 15, 14, and 13. So what you want to do is you want to pick the file for your phone. My phone is the iPhone Pro 15 Pro Max. So I'm going to click on it and download. Then I will go to my Fusion. So I'm going to the home page of the Fusion, and I'm going to create a new folder. Let's call it my phone case, and then double click on that folder. And then once you double click on the folder, you will have a regular untitled page. What you want to do is you want to go to upload and select files and go to the file that you just downloaded from that Google Slides presentation. So the one that I just downloaded is iPhone 15 Pro Max step file. Make sure it says step file, otherwise it will not work. Now I'm uploading it. I hit upload, so it's uploading. Once it uploads, it will look like this. Now, first thing is you want to see where the origin is. So look at this origin. You see how the origin is right there of the phone, and you see how the phone has this parent file, and then there's a one like another component file called bodies. So go to that one and select create component from the bodies. So I made the body files into a component, and then you see how there's like 4 different files. So what I will do is I will drag one into each other, so you're like combining them. And then now once you combine all 4 or 5 files that you have, let's rename it and call it the phone. You want to right click on the parent file and then create a new component, and we're going to call that case. The reason why we did that is now we're going to use the phone parent file under the parent file. We have 2 folders, phone and the case. So the actual phone we're going to use to make the case out of that phone. So we're using the surface and the bodies of the phone to make the case. Now go to the parent file and then right click and hit capture design history, so that way you can anything you do to this folder will be recorded down here. Otherwise you will not be able to change things later on. Okay, now that we have everything ready, let's check to see where the origin is at. Let's go to phone case, and let's see where the origin is. And you see how the origin is in the dead center? That's good. That means we can start sketching from that dead center. So leave it like that. If it is not, if your origin is like, let's say, off to the side, what you want to do is you want to go to modify or joint, and then select the center of the phone. You see how it's selected, and then that off to the side point over here. So that way you can join them together. So that way the center of the phone is the center of your origin. So, but since here it's not, it's the center of the phone is the center of the origin, I don't need to do that. So I'll just leave it as is. Now, the next step is to start creating the bump of the phone. So how do you do that? So if I look at this phone, right? If I start CADing from here, like if I start making the bumper from here, then I can use the sweep command to go all the way around and create a bumper. So I'm going to pick this as my, you see how this, I'm going to pick this as my work plane, and then hit create. So now I'm going to go to the either end, it doesn't matter which end of the phone, and then make sure you are on the case though. Okay, now you're not on the phone, you're on the case. So case folder. Now go to here and then press P to project the outline of your phone. So I'm gonna I press P, and then it will ask select the geometry. So I'm going to select this one. See, it's selected. Oh, I selected the whole thing wrong. So again, press P, this one. I want to select this part over here and this part. That's good enough. So I selected this this part because now it's easier to sweep this area into a bumper. You'll see in a second what I mean by that. Now I'm going to go to modify, and I will pick not modify. I will go to create a new sketch, and then I will use offset feature. You see under modify, there's an offset, and it will ask, what do you want to offset with what curve? So I will select modify. So I will go to modify here, offset and curve. I will select this curve. offset. So I will select the curve that I projected, and then make sure you go out of it, not inside, out of it. Because if your offset is inside the phone, we cannot make the bumper. It has to be outside of it, and we will make the thickness 0.25. Press enter. Now you see this is the end of your phone. Actually, I will make mine negative. You know why? Because if I make it positive, you see how if I make it positive, it would go inside the phone. I don't want it to go inside the phone. I want my offset to be outside of the phone. That's why I made it negative. So depending on whichever way your offset is, you see how offset, if I make it positive 0.25, it will go inside. That's not good. We want it to be outside of the phone. So I will make it negative. Now, next step is to create the rest of the bumper. So I will make basically a line like this. Let's make this 1.5. This is the front of the phone. I can see that that's the front because the camera is on this side. So this is the front. So I'm going to make this 1.5. Actually, I'll make it 2 millimeters. And I will make this one also, I will define that line as also 2 millimeters. So on either side is 2 millimeters. Now, this is the end of the bumper, and now I will make that the end of the bumper, and I will make this line. So this is the other side of the bumper, and I will use D to define from here to here. The distance should be about 2 millimeters. Okay, and then what I can do is I can use the modify tool to extend this line like that, and extend this line like that, and extend this line and that line. So I use the modify extend to finish the bumper. Now I finished the bumper. So this is how it will look. So now I can use this bumper to sweep every part of the phone. So how do I do that? So let's go in. Let's orient the bumper a little bit better. Okay, let's go select this part and then go to under create, go to sweep. Now, this is my profile that's sweeping. Now it's asking for path. So here's the profile. I want the path to be this line over here. So path, select the path. So profile is selected. Select the path from here, and then select that line over here. So, and then I will keep selecting this line and this line. This is the line. You see how I have to go around the phone until the whole thing is selected. And this line over here, this line over there. Okay, so now you have a bumper for your phone. See, this is the bumper for the phone. And it's created in the case, not in the phone folder, in the case. Now, next step is to create the back part of the phone. So let's go to where the phone is. I can see that this is the back end. So what I will need to do is I need to extrude this part. Now, because of my phone, now we're actually if you look at it, because of the bumper that we made is slightly bigger, we need to change the work plane because we're 2 millimeters from the actual surface, because the bumper on the top was 2 millimeters. So I'll go to construction and select the plane. This is the select the plane, but I want to go negative 2 millimeters, so that you see how if I look at it from the side, that's where the phone is. I want to be on the surface of the phone, and then I will start creating from the surface of the phone, the back side of the phone. You see how it's selecting the phone. So I don't want to see the phone. I want to extrude this whole thing. So I will create. See, I made the phone invisible. Now I want to press E. I want to make the phone, but before we do, so after I made the sweep and made the bumper, you can see here's the bumper. You can turn off the origin so you can see it better. Here's the bumper of the phone. Now the next step is go to the back of the phone. This is the back of the phone, and make the base, the back case cover. Now how do you do that? I think the easiest way to do that is to let's go to the phone and turn off the case. Just look at the phone itself, and then hit P to project the phone. That's what I want to do. So I want to create here, and then hit P and select this side and this side. You see, I'm selecting the outside of the phone. Why am I doing that? Because I'm using the outside as a sketch later on to create the back of the phone. So I selected all of it and press OK. Now I will turn off the body, only turn on the sketch of the phone, and then turn on the cover and turn off the. So I went to the now I went to the case. Make sure the case is the active component. I turn off everything about the phone except for the sketch, and then I have this outline. You see how this is the outline of the phone. This outer one right here, not the inner one, the outer one. Actually, I could say I could select both outer and inner and press E and then make it 2 millimeters. And then it will say you cannot see it because you have the bodies turned off. Now, you see how once you turn it on, you will see that this is the front of the phone right here, and this is the back of the phone. And we just created the back cover. But the problem is we have to now cut the holes for the camera. And we can easily do that. If you go back to, let's turn off the case and let's go to the active phone as the active component, and let's use P to trace the outline of the camera thing. So press P, select this line. It's asking what am I selecting? I'm selecting this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this line, this line right here. This tiny one, this one right here, this one, this line right here, and then be careful not to miss any of those lines because you want it to be fully enclosed feature. Okay. And now I think I projected the full camera. Press OK. Press finish sketch. Now let's go back to the phone case. Now I want to turn off everything except for the sketch from the phone. So I don't want to see bodies. I don't see only the sketches. And my active component should be now the case. I will also turn off everything else, just even the bodies from the case. I just want to see this thing that I created. So now I need to cut this piece over here. I need to trace this line over here to cut the camera. So the best way to do it is create a sketch, and actually you might be able to use this to you can do yeah, let's create a line so you can cut this hole. So I'm tracing this line the best way you can. So I'm just tracing the camera lens area. You can press escape to get to zoom in the correct spot, and then just finish sketch. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just try your best to follow the lines. More points you make, it's probably more accurate because you're following the lines. Okay, so I'm done with sketching that. And then what I could do is press escape. So I can select that and do offset. Select the curve, select this curve, and make the offset about 1.5 millimeters. So now I can turn on the bodies. Actually, I can first extrude this, but I want to make it a hole. So I'm going to press E. And instead of saying new body, I'm going to say cut. So I'm going to turn the body on. Now, you see how that's more than enough? It's actually, I have to cut it the other way. See, this is the way it's going to cut. Okay, so I say press OK. So now I have a space for the camera. But before I do that, I should also do like a small wall for that camera. Let's actually go back to the sketch that I did. Yeah, before I make the extrusion, let's turn off the bodies for a second. Just look at sketch. Let's make another let's make another offset, modify, and this time I'm gonna make the offset a little bit smaller, like maybe 0.5, negative 0.5, or maybe like a -1, so it's the other way. So I want to cut that part and then use the other two as a wall. You'll see in a second what I mean by that. Now I want to only extrude this part as a whole. So I'm going to turn on the body, actually turn off the body, and I'm going to say cut and turn on the body to cut it. So now I cut it, but then you see how there's another layer left? I want to use that later on to make a wall. So now there's enough space for the camera. Now I'm going to turn off the bodies again, and you see how this one, I want to use this and I will say let's turn on the bodies first for 1 second. I don't want to cut. I want a new body as maybe -4 millimeters. And I did that because you see how when I turn on the phone, you see how the phone's camera comes out a little bit like the lens? I don't want it to get damaged. And by creating this wall, I've managed to do that. So it doesn't, the lens of the camera does not hit, like if you were to drop the phone, it will not hit the ground because of this wall thing is now bigger than the camera lens. Now, pretty much the bottom is done. I can turn off. So now it's all about cutting the holes on the sides and on the front. So let's start from the front first. I'm going to turn off these other sketches because they're kind of distracting at this point. And I will turn off the sketches on that. So now let's go to let's make the let's go to phone first. So you see I'm in the case. I'm gonna go to phone and see if there's anything on this side. See, this is the side, but this side has nothing. Okay, so this side has no holes or anything. So let's go to the other side of the phone. Okay, I don't want to see any of these sketches, so I'm going to turn all of these off, and I'm going to turn off the sketches on the phone, and I want to project these holes so I can cut in the, you see how this is the phone. I want, if I project it to the case, I can cut that. So I'm going to go create and then press P and select not the whole thing. So I want to project create and P. Let's turn off the I'm gonna turn off the case because I don't need to see the case. So now I'm on the phone. Yeah, I'm gonna turn off everything that has to do with the case. And then P, and let's select this hole, this hole, this hole, this hole, and this hole, this hole, that, this, and that one, that one, that one, that one, and press OK. And now let's go to let's turn off the phone. Now let's go to back to the case. Now you see the and turn back the phone so you can see the projected part. Now we need to cut the actual case. So I'm going to make sure that I'm on the case first. Turn on the sketches from the phone too, so we can kind of see. So now we can see these things that we need to cut. So let's go here. Let's do create a new sketch, and let's go to slot, a slot, a slot. Overall, let's do the center point slot. See how this is there's 4 holes. So this is like the center, and let's cut that piece. And then over here, this looks like the center, and cut this piece. And let's go over here. This looks like center, and cut that piece. Finish sketch. Now let's go to the select that. Press shift, select this, select this. So you're selecting all 3, and then press E. But instead of new body, we're saying cut that way. You see how by moving it the other way, you see how it's gonna cut. Okay, press okay. So now that's cut. Okay, so now let's do the one of the sides. So let's go back to the phone again. Turn off the phone case. Let's go to this side of the phone, and let's project this piece over here, this piece, this piece, this piece, and that piece. Press OK. Now let's go back. Let's turn on the case. Let's make sure you're on the case, and go to sketches and turn off the previous sketches, so you're only worried about like these things over here. See, I only want to see these sketches over here. Okay, now you see how if I go to create a sketch, you can see that this is a piece that I need to cut. So let's go to again slot, center point slot, and it looks like this is the center, so that will be cut. Okay, and then this piece looks like, check, that's a definite. Okay, so this is another piece that need to be cut. So let's cut that one. I think this one is actually, now that I'm looking at my phone, I can see that this is a sketch from on the other side. So I'm going to actually delete this one because I don't need this one to be extruded. This is the bottom on the other side that I marked. It's important to look at the phone while you're making it just to make sure that you're working on the right side. This is clearly not the right side, so I'm going to go back here and make a slot over here, center point slot. This is too big, I think. Yeah, this is too big. Let's delete this. It's only this big, so let's create a small. Yeah, that's good enough for that one. And this is a slightly bigger one. You can see how it start here. Okay, so that's good for that one. And then let's go to the final one. Final one. I think the other one need to be a little bit smaller because otherwise this will overlap with this one. So let me delete this one. I'll probably do this one first and then come back to the other one. I'm not happy with this one still. Let me redo that one. I think I should have went a little bit up how the other one. Okay, let's create another sketch. Now I just have to cut these holes out. So let's select that. Let's shift select, press down shift, and then press E and make sure it's a cut and cut which way? That way. Okay, now let's do to the other side. We have a one more cut on this side and then we're done pretty much. Okay, let's go back to the I'm gonna turn off the phone. Turn off the case. Go back to the phone and go to this side. Let's just turn on the case for a second. Now let's go to the other side where this button is, this button. So I'm gonna turn off the case and I will select this one and press press OK. Now I will go back here, turn off all the other sketches. Oh, this one need to be on. And then let's go to the case, turn on the case, make sure you're on the case. And this is the side that needs to be cut over here, like this piece right over here, somewhere over here. Yeah, you see how this piece. So let's go create and then click over here and create a center point slot. Center point is about like that. That's more than enough. And then let's select it with left click and then press E and make it a cut and twist the phone and then see. Okay, that's the way it's gonna cut. Okay, so you're pretty much done. Now it's about making things prettier. What you could do is you can probably go to modify and let's make some you see these corners, we can modify those corners. Let's go here, let's select this part and finish sketch, modify. Let's do a fillet on this. You see how this part, let's do a fillet on that. Let's make it 2 millimeters. So it's not nice and round like that. And even here, we can do a fillet over here, modify a fillet and select the whole surface. You see how I hovered over it and select that whole surface and a fillet of what, 2 millimeters? Well, no, actually, no, I pressed the wrong thing. Cancel. Not fillet. I want, let's make it a 0.5 millimeters. Yeah, that looks nice. Let's do this side. Fillet again. Hover over the whole surface and put 2 millimeter. Okay, so that's pretty good. Everything looks nice. And if you want, you can create something on here, like your name. Go to text. You can put any text you want. This is a text area. You can select the font. You can say anything you want. You can type your name or you can type anything you want on it. You can personalize this. I'll just type Fusion 360 is cool. And let's center it and press OK. Press E and we can make it like 5 millimeters. Actually, let's make it 4 millimeters. Okay, so that's done. And you can even turn off all the sketches and turn on the phone. Actually, you can turn on the whole thing, go to the parent component, and you can see how your phone will look. Okay, that's that. Hopefully you followed through on the steps and made yourself a nice phone case. Make sure to control save and you are done.